All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gideon Oluwile. I'm privileged to anchor this evening. I want to please play with us to give us some 2-3 minutes before we start, so that we can allow more people to join this platform. Yesterday we were over 450, so we expect that more people will join, which I'm seeing already that the number is increasing on a fast note. Thank you very much. Good evening. See you next thing. Yeah, can I hear you, Lady Priscilla? Your hand is up. Your digital hand is up. Why not pass your message on the comment, please? On the comment section. Please send a chat. We'll respond to you there quickly. Thank you.
Hello, Mr. Gideon.
Speaking, please.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Hello,
I can.
good evening. Okay, good evening, sir. It's Priscilla Godwin Gali from Kano. Yesterday, I have an observation to raise. I participated in the last workshop last year in August. For the 3 days, I was not issued certificate. I am aggrieved. And yesterday, they said, okay. They said they took attendance, and I wrote my name, and they said that there was a link that is given for attendance to be taken. And I know I'm a fellow, I'm a member, I've paid my annual dues, that's why I'm attending the workshop. And I see, to me, I feel slighted when a program is being carried out and then nobody is issued. I'm not being given certificates. It's of no use attending the program. That's my grievance.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me respond to that quickly. You're talking about last year, and I think I'm very frank with you. This is coming extremely late. You should have just done that. You have the contact to the office. You have the contact to the institute. I will advise that you reach out to the office, and that will be looked into. 1, 2. For this one, a link was sent. I kept um, um, reposting it. I kept reposting it for people to. All you need to do is to click on it. They didn't say you should write your name. Click on it, then respond to what will pop up from there. It's an automated thing, so it's not what you write and somebody's copying your name. We'll see posts out today. Just click. Everybody is listening. Just click on it and respond appropriately. But for the earlier one you asked, it will be looked into. Thank you. Yeah, Mr. Theophilus, can I hear you? Wow, many hands are coming up. Yes, please, quickly. We want to start now. Mr. Theophilus, can I hear you, please? Or Joseph Patience, which of you can come up now?
Everyone, fellow professionals, good evening. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, please.
Same thing from my side. Yesterday, I could not enter the attendance because before I knew it, my phone went off. But I was there on time and I participated to an extent. And today I'm here. I don't know.
I'm sure you got my response. Just hold on. We're going to send in the link. Okay. Just do the link. Thank you.
All right.
I hope it is.
Thank you, sir.
Don't their hands. If it's the same thing, please Mr. I think that's the first name, Christia. Please put down your user hand. I think I responded. Then Theophilus, I don't know if you still have something to say, but if it's on attendance, the link will still be sent. Please, you do the needful when it's sent. Thank you. Juliet Odi, is it the same thing? If it's the same thing, I'm sure I've responded already. If not, can I hear you quickly? You want to start now? Juliet Odi, your hand is up. Melly Gideon, my namesake. Is it the same thing on attendance? If not, can I hear you quickly? We are starting in 1 minute.
Hello? Hello?
I can hear you. Please go ahead and put down your hand now, sir.
Yeah, the same thing to me when yesterday when I tried to log in. I don't know whether it's from the network and this very issue of attendance. I couldn't really sign in. So I don't know how it will look like on my own side too. And I even
I
posted
mean,
it
you
on
are
the
not,
platform.
you couldn't attend yesterday. But don't worry, I just addressed, I'm sure you heard my response, sir.
Yes,
Please,
sir.
let's
Yes, sir.
thank you very much.
Okay, sir.
So can I put down our
God bless,
hand?
sir.
Thank you.
Okay, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. We now have almost about okay, we have 341 or thereabout and increasing. Um, I would like to just let's have the initial razzmatazz before we go ahead into the program of today. I want to especially welcome everybody present. Thank you for making our time to be here by this time. And sorry, Mr. Meli Amatari Gideon, can you bring down your digital hand? I think I responded to you.
Okay.
Bring down your hand.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
And for every other person that it has to do with attendance, please just take a cue on what I've said. The link will be sent today. You go ahead and do the needful. Thank you. Otherwise, please put down your digital hands that are up. Thank you. All right. So I want to welcome everybody once again. And I believe strongly that we had a nice time yesterday. And before we go on, please make sure that your mics remain muted. Make sure that your mics remain muted. I'm seeing Mr. Gideon Melly, your mic is on. Mute your mic yourself. Thank you. So that I don't need to be touching the button. Thank you. All right. So we had it now yesterday, and today, before we go forward, I want to deliberately ask for a volunteer to give us an open prayer this evening. Can I have a volunteer? If you are doing that, unmute your mic, tell us your name, and pray for us.
Good evening, sir.
All right.
Hello, everyone. Glory to God. Glory to God. Thank you, Father, for this evening. Thank you for yesterday. Thank you for what we are learning. Thank you for our facilitator. Thank you, glorious God, for we know that this evening is already blessed. In the mighty name of Jesus, we have prayed. Amen.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really want to appreciate once again everybody for being on this call this evening. For us to have a wonderful time together. I wouldn't take much time because the facilitator is on ground, and I'm sure we're going to have we're going to move to the next level of this our seminar workshop today, because yesterday was something else. Okay, let's quickly do a wrap on yesterday. All right. I'm going to do first finger first. That's when I'll call your name, then you can talk. All right, first finger first. The first person that I'll see that I'll unmute, I'll tell you to go ahead and talk, or the first person to speak. All right. Okay, quickly, we discussed quite a number of things yesterday, but I found out that we have some areas where the crux was. We had some areas where the crux was, and it has to do with HR, personnel management, the CEO or the lead MD of the company, then the staffs, you know. Then we now got to another angle where we have to talk about strategy to handle HR matters, especially in a toxic environment, or where there's no easy implementation of professionalism of HR there. All right. Can I have just in 1 minute, somebody to just clear cut for us how you got it yesterday, that you can manage your profession, you can dispense your professionalism in any environment, no minding whether it's government establishment or private owned, but where you can stand your own and prove your onions. Can somebody just share with us 1 minute? Okay, Tosi Akintade.
Hello, can you hear me now? Hello.
Yes, please, we can hear you.
Okay, so yesterday one of the things we talked about is about an HR professional. Number one, you knowing your work, you knowing the tenets of your profession, and you knowing also the organization, the practices, the vision and mission statement, and how
There's a background noise. There's a background noise. Put off that thing that's making
Okay,
a
can I type it in? Can I type it in?
Happy. Dr. Jero, can we hear you?
Good evening, sir. Good evening, distinguished professionals. I met the lecture at Strategic Human Resource Personnel. Being a strategic human resource personnel, I learned a lot. Incidentally, I've been doing some of these things. I'll give you a practical case study. I was given a bakery in my school to manage. When I was given that bakery to manage, I had to think of where are we right now in this bakery and where we need to be. And so at that point, I was able to look at the human resource personnel, made sure I placed them in their right places, and drew out a structure, a work plan, and then salary structure, and also looking at how to increase the income of that particular small bakery within my reach. As at the time I left, I grew the cash sales from 201,000 to 2 million naira a month within 1 year. That was because strategic human resource attitudes were applied on managing that situation. It's not a government setting, it's a small setting. And so if you don't apply strategic means in attaining organizational goals, not thinking of what you're going to benefit, but how are you going to make that establishment to become better?
All right.
And also making yourself to, okay.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's go. I need to throw one more poser. From what you have heard yesterday, from what we shared yesterday, can somebody just tell us one thing you have done that we shared yesterday that you agree with that gave you serious, apart from what we have said now, I mean, as I yesterday, that solved major problem. What I mean, major problem. Instead of you retiring people, instead of you firing people, people believe that HR is hiring and firing, and that has been worked on. We have corrected that impression, and people now understand that HR go beyond hiring and firing. You know, we now do training, we now do a lot of things beyond that. We do motivational aspect of it. We handle a lot of things. Now, can somebody just help us in it also? Tell us what you heard again yesterday as a way of confirmation that yes, that means you're on the right track.
Hello everyone. Good evening.
Elizabeth, that's Elizabeth. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, Elizabeth. Yeah, good evening, everyone. I'm happy to be here. So, from what I learned yesterday, it's about
1 minute.
Yes, it will be very brief. It's about training your employees. Continuous learning, it helps. It goes a long way to make your employees want to stay, because that is where we say upscaling, reskilling, upskilling and reskilling. So that is one thing that I learned that revalidated my insight on the fact that you don't just fire or hire, you upskill, reskill those employees that you have. That way you save the company money of rehiring or bringing in new workforce. So that will help the employees that you have on board. We also spoke about those employees that are, millennials and all of that, that their skills are no longer relevant to the current. You train them and make them relevant to the current economy, the current technology, so that they can blend into the business and be more productive. That was what I learned.
All right, thank you. Lastly, let's talk about AI. AI, the all-powerful AI. All right, can somebody just share with us where your fears has been on AI and how yesterday I've resolved it for you?
Hello.
Okay.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Okay.
Good evening.
Right.
Good evening. I'm Enimo Joseph. Hello.
Okay. All right, go ahead,
Hello.
sir.
Good evening, sir. I'm Enimo Joseph. I learned that from before now, I thought that AI is going to replace everything about human resource management. However, I found out that there are some certain things it can still replace in human resource management. The human nature, like in the hospital centers, it can replace the medications, it can replace the testing and the rest of them. Then it can replace um, chef, um, what do they call them? Chefs and the rest of them. Thank you very much.
All right,
Okay.
thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
All right, we're going to.
Thanks, sir.
But before I want to just wrap up something here that what we're trying to do with this. Everybody, please mute your mic now, sir, and please put down your digital hand. Put your digital hand down. Thank you. What we're trying to do with this seminar is to let us know that there's more room in the inn. There are things that are happening out there that everyone must be abreast of. No matter how you claim ignorance does not mean that thing cannot come to play. The issue is that when it comes to play, you're the one that will be disappointed. You're the one that will be playing behind. You're playing behind the role. You'll not be able to be effective and efficient. Why? Because you are ignorant and you're oblivious of the new things. But what we are saying here is that everybody needs to understand, as a professional HR person, you must understand that things are changing, improvements are coming in, there are transformations, there are a lot of things happening that we need to be abreast of. The reason why you must be abreast of them is that so that you can plan ahead of it to know what to do at that point in time. Sometimes they are because we need to just update ourselves, we need to upgrade ourselves, we need to just get challenged and provide some new steps and things to what to do and how to do it so that we can remain valid. Listen, it's not because AI is not a threat. AI is an eye opener. AI is not a threat. AI is an eye opener. I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to ask us tonight to please, like I always say, for those that know, it's not about the certificate, it's about certificate. And two, please, unlearn to learn tonight. Unlearn to learn tonight. Unlearn to learn tonight. And I hereby, on this note, permit me to call in our dear pastor for today, Dr. Emmanuel. Please help me celebrate. Sir, you're welcome to the floor.
All right, good people. It's such an honor to see all of us here. Go ahead and mute our microphones at this time. I guarantee you we're going to have a fantastic time together. Thank you so much, Mr. Gideon. For just, it's more like an icebreaker that you gave us, and also to refresh our memories. So this is what I want all of us to do right now. I've not been in a webinar like this in a long time. We are already 418 in number. This is absolutely incredible. So I want all of us to go ahead on the chat box right now. Just type in the city you are joining in from, the city in Nigeria, the state or the city. Like you can say in Lagos, Ikeja, Lagos, or you can say Damaturu, or you can say Maguno, Borno State. And if you are joining in from outside Nigeria, just type in the country you are joining for. It will be a delight to just know where all our wonderful professionals are joining in from this evening. Yes, the line is buzzing. It's absolutely crazy. Even right now, I'm taking a look at it. It's hard to keep up. It's hard to keep up. Let me see. Port Harcourt, you are welcome. Port Harcourt, Delta State, where are my Deltans? Okay, you guys are right there. I can see someone all the way, again, Port Harcourt. All right, we have Port Harcourt. Let's see how many states we actually bring the most from right now. You're welcome. Make sure you mute your mic. I'd like to ask our host, co-host, to please be actual ushers at this time. Please help. Or maybe you can even deactivate the ability to unmute yourself from here. Okay, I think I've done that. So just remind me to deactivate that because you're in session right now. All right, so let's see where our people are coming from. Lagos, Ibadan, Abuja, Ibadan, or your states, Lagos. Yes, Lagos, Ogun State. All right. Kano, how you doing? Kano, it's been a while. All right. Kudu, Federal Capital Territory. Okay, awesome. Asaba. All right, the state capital of Delta State. Yenagoa, Bayelsa. Yes. Beautiful place, Bayelsa. Festac Town, Lagos, Nigeria. Port Harcourt, Abuja, Lagos, Alapere. All right, we're having so many people joining Ibadan. Just keep it coming. I want to say a very big welcome to everyone. Today is going to be fantastic. Today is going to be everything that you have dreamed about an HR training being. But before we go, I'm going to be sharing my screen off and on. I'll be sharing my screen. And at this time, I'm going to introduce myself better so that you can get to know me even as I get to know every one of you. All right, I'm going ahead to share my screen. Just let me, you can see my screen. Just type in a yes will suffice. That's right. We are 433. Amazing. 433 we are right now. And I also have one eye on our chat room to make sure. Yes. Thank you. You can. So the theme of our gathering for the past 48 hours is strategic human resource management. Yesterday, we talked about strategy, being a strategic player. And what are we talking about? We are learning how we can drive business success through people. Okay? The H in HR is human. So if any organization does not have human, I wonder what they are doing. But let me just ask you, how many of you felt that yesterday was fantastic? I mean, we believe I've listened to yesterday's class 2 times already on YouTube. If you think yesterday's class was fantastic, let me just see you share, maybe your emoji or just put up something. Let me go ahead and put up. Oh, let me do my emojis right now. All right, thank you, my emojis. But yesterday was fantastic. She said something, say yes, say fantastic, say how you feel. Yes, 2 hands in the air. Now, our dear, Mrs. Ayuade Abike, she was fantastic. I mean, she doesn't look her age. She doesn't her age. She is so current. I was personally blown away when she began talking about AI. I'm like, what is a retiree doing talking about AI? That is to show you that, those in HR will never retire. We will thread, but will never retire. On my last count, we had over 460. Let's see if we are going to beat that today. So if you know any, a member of the Charter Institute of Human Resource that should be here, please make sure you go to not to your family, your village group, to go and tell them, no, we don't want people for your village or your town's union. Just go there and say, listen, it is like, take a screenshot and tell them that it is showtime. It is showtime. And on YouTube, like I said, I've watched her class twice already. We had over 300. Is that fantastic or what? All right. So who is this man, before us today? My name is Emmanuel Eme. I'm an executive coach and also a learning and development specialist. I mean, you are going to determine whether I'm a specialist or not by the time I am done today. But that is what I do. I've been active in this field for 30 years and 6 months right now. I've been active in this field for 33 decades and 6 months. And I've been blessed, I've been blessed because over the course of, the years, I have been able to do this in several countries in the world. I mean, I'm dropping all my location, both around West Africa, around Africa, the Middle East, North America, Europe, and Asia also. I've been on 4 continents doing what I'm doing right here. And I'm so blessed, to be there. And I am bringing the same goodwill to everyone here today. Today is day 2. And in this day 2, we're going to be focusing on 3 things majorly. All right, 3 things majorly. I know that as per time, I'm not sure we have just 1.5 hours, or let's say 1 hour, right? So we have just 1 hour, and I might be going a bit fast. But I guarantee you are going to get the meat of this session. If you know how to do screenshots on your laptop, on your handheld, please feel free to do screenshots. If there's anything you do not understand, this program is already recorded, and you can go back. Even now, you can rewind and go on YouTube and start listening from the beginning and wait until you catch up. Now, this is what I normally do. In all my training, I do have a guarantee, a quality guarantee, but that guarantee is not 100% foolproof. Okay, I have to be honest with you. Here is what I usually say: the training objective for us today. At the end of this module, this second module that we're teaching, now this is the caveat: giving full participation in the exercises and the activities. I'll guarantee you that you should be able to learn 4 major things. But if you do not participate, if you do not engage, if you are multitasking, sorry, you might not, and that guarantee does cover you. Number 1, I guarantee that you're going to learn global history and the evolution of HR industry and practices. You will learn that. Number 2, the second guarantee, with the caveat, remember, that we'll be able to navigate legal, ethical, and compliance challenges in human resource management. Number 3, you'll be able to foster high performance culture through what I call the effective leadership strategies. Listen, if you miss this one, you will kick yourself. You are going to learn how to foster this through effective leadership strategies and change management. And of course, for every learning, there is no learning without an application. Then you will be able to apply all this AI, insight through case studies. Now, we don't have time, but I actually have a plan to break us up into rooms, but we may not be able to do that. But you are going to have it as a take-home quiz or something that you want to do in your cohorts. I know the Lagos cohort, we have an Abuja cohort, we have a Port Harcourt cohort. I mean, this is one organization that is pan-Nigeria. So I want you guys to take this as a discussion point to your cohort. Now, I belong to the awesome Lagos cohort, and I don't know about your cohort. Lagos cohort is probably the most exciting cohort. We never sleep practically. But let's go back in time, in history. My first book that I wrote was actually on history. And let us go on history. They say that those who fail to learn from history, they are doomed to repeating it. And I'm so glad that many of the nuggets that our dear mama dropped yesterday. In fact, before this program, I thought about if she was here, I wanted to do something very exciting to sing her a now very, I don't know whether it's infamous or infamous tune. Be this story. But anyway, that is not the story today. But she is such an awesome woman. So we're going to go back. The global history. Let us know why we are here. It is always important. There are two lessons when I teach history. I teach history at a postgraduate level, and I tell them the first lesson of history is that those who fail to learn from history will end up repeating it. The second lesson of history is that we don't learn from history. Why is that a lesson? Because if we do, we're not going to be repeating it. So the global history and evolution of HR in the industry practice. It began before many of us, the world knew how to read and write. You trace it back to like ancient in China, ancient Egypt, because of our human. Unless you want to be a hermit living in a cave, but as long as where 2 or 3 people are gathered and there is work to do, there has to be management. Even in the Bible, Joseph was the #1 HR manager. Moses was an HR manager. Even Jesus was an HR manager. You have to manage the people and the task. Now, of course, that was ancient time, in China, in Egypt. But by the time we go to the 18th to 19th century was the time of the Industrial Revolution. Now, what does that mean? We are peasants. You own a cow, you milk your cow, and you work your land, and whatever you bring in, you sell, and you eat. What you cannot sell, you go and trade with someone, sell it, and get one. But that was when people were just producing one by one. But at the time of the Industrial Revolution, sponsored by machines, people began to leave the countryside, their villages, and they now began to move towards town. And there was an influx of people, especially men, into that place, into various town. And that is when there was a need to now manage people. So the very first modern could be traced to the time of Industrial Revolution. They were now in the 20th century. HR now began to become something that is now like it's no more something done by the side. The early in the 1900s, there was an emergence of what we call, I know we've made reference to this, what we call personnel management. Now, I don't want to throw shades or anything, but that was what they were called. At that time, they were called personnel management. Unfortunately, what you say, your terminology, like we say, your terminology will reinforce your theology. The things you say will reinforce the way you think. If you are still thinking personnel, you are going to act personnel. So there was personnel management, and it was great for that time. That was a discipline that was focused on, think about it, and I'm going to use my pointer here. It was focused on employee welfare and compliance. That was basically it. But the world began to evolve. By the 1940s, after the Second World War, there was a need to begin to say, let's begin to do a workforce planning, not just arbitrarily. Then leadership training began to come into personnel management. And by the 60s to the 80s, the civil rights movements in America came up. Then labor rights activism came up. Then there was a war that became a need for a formation of employee protection law. In other words, if a black man is working for you, they need protection. So that is how it began to morph. So we're talking about human rights follows labor law, and we now began to drag the law. And by the time we hit the 1990s to the early 2000, HR, what I call human resource, that it was not like a transformation that happened. It introduced transition from administrative support, because they saw HR just supporting the main people. So HR has always been seen like an appendix, and it's such a sad thing. And if you are heavily involved in HR like I am, I have news for you today. You are not inferior, and no one has the right to diminish your credibility or your importance unless you give them a permission to. Now, I'm a business coach. Also, last year I began coaching. I've been an executive in a company. This executive, I don't use the gender at this time. I help this executive through, daily coaching, like 3 times a week. Resume, there's between a resume and a CV. Then this person applied to a big job, the job of an MD. And I said, you can do it. I'm going to coach you, through it. And this person was very apprehensive. Well, look at where I'm coming from. I said, don't worry, I'll coach you through it. And within 3 months of coaching, this person, became the MD of one of the big outsourcing companies in Nigeria with a staff strength of over 3,000. Can I hear somebody just type in a wow? Wow, just type in a wow. There, let me see who's going to be first. Just type in a wow. Yeah, because think about it. The closest person to staff is the HR. The person who is like a lawyer, who understands every facet of business, is in HR. Not the thinker. The HR understand people, HR understand the business, HR have to learn. If there's an IT guy in the company, HR learns IT. If there's an engineer in the company, HR learns engineering. If there's a doctor in the company, HR learns medicine. So HR is like the fullness of the company. But how come we don't have a lot of HR becoming MD? Last year, some of the top HR people in Lagos got together in VI and had a breakfast. It's an annual thing, HR breakfast. And the question is, why is HR not getting to become the CEOs of the company? Why are HR people relegated to just being personnel managers or some glorified names that you're going to be saying very, very soon? So from the 90s, to 2000, HR now begin to go through the transition, and there is now a support. Now, let me encourage you, please don't Gabriel, we don't want what happened yesterday to happen today. Please don't scribble on my screen, all right, unless you want me to call your name, but I'm sure you don't want to call your name. So what I'm just going to do at this time, I'm going to erase that blue mark, all right, and we are going to deactivate. Can I have the the host, please deactivate. I can do it from here, but I'm going to be distracted. Please deactivate the ability to write. Around time, we're going to do things you write, but not today. All right. So, but now the modern HR trends. By the time we hit the 2000 to the present, there was now a digital transformation. AI, like we learned yesterday. And by the way, all these things have been prepared before yesterday's class. Okay? And as I was listening to yesterday's class, I was telling myself, oops, in the religious world, they will say the spirit is moving. But in the HR world, it's not the spirit, it's just common sense. It is just what is right. All right. No matter where you are living in the world, what is right is what is right. So right now we have this digital transformation. We have AI, big data, we have the cloud computing, all these things are coming. And guess what? HR is not taking a more prominent role. Now, people, analytics people will come. Then, of course, remote work, hybrid work. Now, how many of you enjoyed that period of COVID-19 doing hybrid? I'm number one. I love it. I was able to train more people, and then just go ahead and put a yes. That's yes for me. I was able to train more people. Now, all those locations I told you, all of them, I was there physically, but I was able to reach people. Otherwise, I could have been going for visas. I would have been going for, I hate airports. I love travel, but I hate airports. In the next 6 months, I'm going to be back in India. I'm going to be in Abidjan. I'm going to be in Ghana. I'm going to be in Togo. I'm going to be in Turkey. I love traveling. I love teaching. I love doing what I'm doing, but I hate the airport. But now we now have this hybrid where I'm in my studio in my house, literally. I have to go to the studio during coronavirus, COVID-19. I built a studio, so I don't have to go anywhere. So the way people work has changed. Then, of course, there is diversity. That's a good word. They now began to call us diversity, equity, inclusion, DEI. No more release from personnel management, to HR, to diversity. So organizations are now beginning to prioritize creating, inclusive workplace. Okay, so the modern trend continues. Okay, the modern trend continues. Like I said, digital transformation, people analytics. Sorry, I'm going back my slide now. So let's look at how does it pertain to Nigeria, our country. Of course, everything I've said also had to do with Nigeria, but specifically, let me try to choose out Nigeria out. Okay, labor was likely informal during the colonial era. It was informal. They got put together. Apes obey. That's what they were saying. Apes obey, which was derogatory. They were calling us apes, which people do today. They call it apes obey, but it was apes. Apes obey. Yeah. People were conscripted. Labor was conscripted. It was not organized. Now, the traditional apprenticeship and the trade guilds, they were primarily the workforce that was training, people at that time. Trade mechanism. Some culture. The Southeastern culture, the Igbo culture still has it right now. In fact, this idea had been studied in Harvard. It's been studied in Harvard. It's been studied all over the world. How can one person come to a neighborhood within 10 years, the neighborhood is selling the same thing? That's why we have Alaba International. That's why we have Ladipo. That's why we have Sanda. That's why whatever there. So it's just very informal. This many people go to school. But it was just common sense. It was village wiseness they were doing. Then, of course, by the time, post-independence, that was where we now begin to now have establishment of the Nigerian Labour Congress. People now began to say, okay, let us fight for, the rights of people of the labor force. Then formal employment structure emerged with governments and multinational corporation. You see the UACs and many multinationals that were there, Julius Berger. How do we manage this? And by 1971, I want you to remember this day, by 1971, the Labor Act, okay, the laws now began to come. We now began to draft out labor. You see, if you are HR, you are more or less a lawyer. You have to memorize things. You have to read up. They say readers are leaders. And by the time we come to the 90s and 2000, we have those days of forum bank, the explosion of banks, banking industry, telecoms. So there was a need. And of course, there was a rise of HR professional bodies, such as, I'm only going to mention one because that is my constituent. That is the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management, CIHRM. Please put your hands together for this organization. That officially it was chartered officially in 2019 under the Chartership House Bill 319, not 419. Chartership House Bill number 319. That makes it an official regulatory body, official training institution, which provides, and I'm so grateful that right now on your LinkedIn, you can send your certificates in link, and people can verify. I don't know how many bodies are doing that right now. So that's why we are going up. Yes, we have our forming stage, but I believe that from the forming to the storming, we are going to overcome the current storming stage that we are in, and we're going to the norming, then the performing. I just gave you a simple code in team building. Forming, storming, norming, performing. All right, all of them rhyme. Okay, so right now we are getting out of the storming stage. We are going to normalize them. Boom, we are going to take the entire world by surprise. I have no doubt about that. So compliance with international labor law. Yeah, you can't do it to your own. There's compliance, and by the time you know it, there's now modern HR trends by the I keep going back in my digital this thing. Let me see. I clicked the wrong button. Forgive me. So HR in Nigeria right now is mostly technology driven. Now, if you don't know that, days of Excel, There are platforms you can use. There are apps you can use to manage everything HR in your company. And from time to time, we're going to be introducing you to some of these things. Now, some of you also share some of these things. Then there is regulatory compliance. Companies must adhere to evolving labor law. Labor law is that what you memorized 10 years ago has changed. All right, you are a lawyer, you have to keep updating yourself. Then, of course, there's this employee centric policy. Okay, let's take care of our workers and everything. Then, of course, we see the future of HR in Nigeria right now is going to be AI-driven talent management. You must know how to manage the Gen Zs, the Gen Alphas that are coming. So, the simplest part of this class is actually the next one we're going to be looking at right now. Is the simplest part. I know what? I promise you, on my honor, I'm going to be giving you almost all the documents that you need. I'm going to be supplying you, if you don't have it yet, the labor laws, company policies in Nigeria, because you need to go study it out. We don't have time to go through them. The ethical standard that govern employee relation, you have to know. Because HR professionals, must ensure that their organization comply with both local and international regulations. And those we include in no particular order here. Sorry, we will include these things. Because if your company goes into trouble, you are the one they're going to hold. For example, if you are building a house, you probably need like 3 major players, maybe 4, but let's go to 3. You need the architect, you need the surveyor, you need the quantity surveyor that will tell you how much this drawing will cost to make it a building. Then you need the structural engineer. If something goes wrong, they are going to hold you responsible. They are going to hold the architects responsible because you're also the project manager. You're going to make sure that they stay to the drawing because a lot of time they want to create 2-bedroom, let me get 3-bedroom. They want to turn 4-story building to become 10-story building. They're going to hold responsible. So your company needs you. I don't have time to talk to you about the bank. I'm going to mention their name because I was part of this training. Access Bank transition from a traditional HR mode, to a very strategic, and this is not an advert for them, people-driven organization, because I was part of the crew. We have to take them through Lean Six Sigma. We have to teach them from green belt to black belt, certify them. We have to make sure that it's consumer-centric, and they focus on the young generation. So let's talk about compliance a little bit. Like I said, compliance, we're going to give you the latest. Hopefully, we're going to give you the latest. If I have like 4 amps, I will have added the other 2 amps to start posting it right now. But those ones, you're going to get them in your groups if you don't have it yet. And if you do have them, just go ahead and post all those things. So as HR person, you need to know the laws. Okay, very, very important. Legal and ethical consideration in human resource. Let's look at the Nigerian space, for example. The compliance law. We're going to give you the Labor, Act of 2004. We're going to make available to you the Employee Compensation Act 2010. We are also going to give you the National Industrial Court Act of 2006. And then we're going to give you the Pension Reform Act of 2014. And very important, many of us have fallen foul of this Data Protection Regulation of 2019. It is quite interesting the way we throw our numbers around. In our groups, we throw our emails around. See, if people give you their phone number, their address, their whatever, that is data. That there is a that say you must protect that data. You can't sell it. And that is why our organization here is telling you, hey, pay your dues online, submit it online. No matter how many times we screen, people will just post it. It's simple. Just post it there. People are still posting. I know we wasn't caught up on us yet, but we need to learn to protect data. Very, very important. So the number 2 thing, like I said, is the easiest class to teach because I'll just give you the laws. Go and read them. Then another one is the International Labour Organization, the ILO standard. Now, this one is guideline on fair work practices. So you must know what the law says, and you must educate your employer. Let's use that word, your employer. I believe that HR should be at par with directors, and HR should be in every meeting. HR should not be treated as an appendix. You only need HR when you want to fire somebody, when you want to do the dirty job, the ugly job. And that's why there are two people that people really hate. I mean, as a young person working, there are two staff that people hate: the HR and the accountants. Like, accountant is the one that owes the money, HR is the one that fires you, whatever. Because there is always this performance evaluation. I perform. And I'm so grateful that yesterday our dear mommy mentioned that, I mean, APA should not be annual performance evaluation. You should be quarterly. Performance, you don't need until the end. When somebody is doing well. All right. So you need to know, familiar yourself with the International Labour Organization. Number two, the General Data Protection Regulation talks about the GDPR. Very, very important. Organization, dealing with the EU employee. I mean, do you know how much Facebook had to pay? Do you know how much all this company had to pay? Listen, when they sue your company, you will be in trouble. All right, people are going to start suing because people are getting aware. People tell people all this about, if you want to say, click this one, and people are mining data, and people are selling that, that data. That's why you get all those unsolicited things, mail, those junk mail. By the time we start taking this seriously, companies are going to go broke. All right. Then, of course, diversity and inclusion, compliance. This is very, very big now. Okay, non-discriminatory hiring practices. Listen, I have sat in many hiring. In fact, recently I told my company I won't be in those hiring anymore, because I can tell you most hirings are not objective; they are very subjective. And I can take a bit to tell you how it happens, because sometimes you ask HR to go to go interview 10 people, 20 people. Maybe that's why people is starting to hire. They want to do the job. And the people guy doesn't qualify. It becomes a kind of a puzzle. I need to write reports about this stuff. So I don't think I know what does. Can you get some other junior staff to do that stuff? Because it can be messy. Especially when I'm doing with now I work for a multinational, but when you work with a multinational, it can really be very, very bad. So think about it, a case study. This case study is on compliance challenge in a multinational company in Nigeria, not mine. So number one, a global company enters Nigeria. Now, when they enter Nigeria, they look for lawyers, right? That will help them register. Those they used to do very time. Right now, you can register anywhere on the road. You see people with their Sienna generator, whatever. Those things. They can help you do this, do that, without looking at the law. They change everything. So this global company enters the Nigerian market, but fails to comply with the local labor law. So what happened? The HR teams, what do? They're not going to face legal action due to unfair employee, dismissal. Some people these days will dismiss people dismiss people. But how many people actually sue? Okay, the time is going to come when more workers are going to begin to know their rights and they're going to sue. I'll give you an example. There was a company, actually it's a religious organization. That, quote, a pastor was fired. Now listen carefully how this one happened. The pastor was fired for misconduct, whatever. This pastor was hired as a young man, a single person. And he got married in the congregation. So himself and his wife are now both staff of the church. Now, the man did some mismanagement and he fired both husband and wife. And another call, I was not in the firing team. I was also invited. But when I heard and I said, why did you fire the wife? Is there any law organization that says the woman must be fired? They were looking at me. They said no. I said, do you know what is saving you at this time? Because people are religious in Nigeria. People say, leave it for God. I said, do you know that this staff can actually sue you and you're going to pay every penny? And they're looking at me. So it is your job as a HR to get the back door, to close the back door. Very, very important. So the lesson here is that the importance of HR legal audits and of course compliance training. So legal audits, when you do financial audits, you go through the books, your cash flow, what's coming in, what's going out, and is there a balance, is there a mismatch? Also do a legal audit of your company right now, even mentally. If you do a legal audit, if we are to sue your company right now, will your company still through? And if not, that means there's something wrong. So how do we now navigate? Okay, that's what we can do. Navigate the workplace laws, the policies, ethical dilemmas. Because I was in a company and they were supposed to take, they were asking for male gender. Now you don't say sex, okay? You say gender. That's for gender. And somebody now said, what if they don't want to say? I said, the Nigerian law only recognizes two genders. It's either you are male or you are female. Do you mind? I'm going to call your name. If you write on my wall, I will call your name. All right. Again, host, can you please deactivate that beautiful ability to write? You are not don't do many on my wall, okay? All right. So that's why you need to know all these policies. So HR professional, they often encounter, right now I've lost my thoughts because of that struggle. So if you don't want to be losing my thoughts, please don't write on my wall. Thank you very much. So HR professionals often encounter ethical dilemma. So if this person says, I don't want to say, what would you do? Or what if you find out that somebody you hired as a man is actually a woman? What should you say? So there can be hiring biases that can happen. That one favoring candidates based on personal connection rather than their merit. I talked about that one. There could be workplace harassment. Right now, the biggest boss in our polity is about sexual harassment. Now imagine somebody say that if somebody toasts you now, just say no. In Nigeria, we know that there's such a thing as sexual harassment. In our mind, it's he toasts you. If man toasts you, just say no. So why are you complaining? You see, for long, this will not last for long. A time is going to come that we are going to pay. So right now, we need to start preparing. Just like when I talk about somebody suing somebody, there is a song that Burna Boy sang, Monsters You Need. How many of you have heard about that song? It came out during the coronavirus period. If you have heard about that song, I can just please type in yes. Let me see who is musically compliant here. Yes, if you have monsters you make, beautiful video, talking about the Niger Delta and everything. But you know, he cannot sing that song. He cannot sing that song. I don't even know, like, this is also a massive song. You need to hear it with this American singer. But he cannot sing it because the tune he used was Michael Jackson. All I want to say is that they don't really care about. That was what he used. There was slam you can be. What about the one that he sang? It was Tony Jackson. And he did so much. The one that went viral, the big voice, the guy lost everything he made in that song because he was sued for using the whatever. You can't do that. Before the things that we took for granted many years ago, right now they're calling people waiting for people to sue you. If you are mopping floor, you must put a sign, that says wet floor. In America, some just go there, just put and fall down. They will tell you, their life was shattered. They suffered emotional, whatever. In fact, the spirit of their great-great-grandfather, whatever, you must pay. And they are going to come after you. They're going to come after you. So, HR, you must know the law. Data privacy, I cannot talk about that more than what I've done, really. You cannot overemphasize that data privacy. Now, I would have loved us to do a role play, but we don't have time to do that one. I'm a very animated trainer. I like role play. That time, I would have asked us to do this, but go and do it in law. Let's see if we can do it without breaking up. Now, this is scenario. Scenario one. An employee, somebody employed by someone, an employee reports workplace discrimination. Now, however, but the accused is the senior executive. All right, number one, what will you do? If somebody comes and just like in our policy now, it's easy to say, oh, this Gates man did this to me, whatever. What if is the executive? Step number one, what will you do? Conduct an impartial investigation. Let me underline the word. That's very good. Impartial. I'm the one doing this one now, so it's not you guys. So, okay, impartial. Step number two, review company policies and labor laws. Step number three, take disciplinary action if necessary. So here is the discussion. So how will you handle such a case in your organization? Think about these three things. For some of you who are wondering, oh, when we post the attendance link has been posted. This is what I would advise you. Just copy it and send it to yourself as a WhatsApp. So, WhatsApp message. That's what I do. That's what I did yesterday. Send to yourself so that you don't lose what we're talking about. So the question is, what will you do? How will you? So this is something I want us to screenshot it and let's go discuss it in our cohorts. Lagos cohorts, Abuja cohorts, Kaduna, Port Harcourt, everywhere there is CIHRM group. Go ahead and discuss that. Now, best practices for mitigating legal risk in HR. Here are the best practices. Now, you might know more. Number one, regular HR compliance audits. Don't be a fire brigade, or let me rephrase that one. Don't be a Nigerian fire brigade. You already see them where fire is burning. They don't do routine check. In fact, when you call them, they say, because they use water to wash car, to set the water, to do whatever. And so they only come out when the deed is already done. Okay, so make sure you have regular HR compliance audits. Ensure policies align with the law. Don't wait until you are sued. Number one. Number two, there must be clear employment contracts. Not ambiguity. There must be clear employment, fine prints. Make sure a layman can read it and they can know. Avoid legal loopholes. Those are the things that will come. Listen, I know us. How many of you here, let me give you an example. How many of you here have bought a brand new phone or a brand new television or a brand new laptop and you took time to read those massive documents inside those? Let me see how many of you. Let's see if you can put up your, or if you haven't, just say no. Let me see who, let me be the first. No. You have, okay, iPhone, you've done it. Is that one nation? Never. You have downloaded a free software. The one that can turn, for example, that can turn your PDF to audio, and you make to read all the, you just agree. See, for all these things you agree. And by the time they start selling your data, they start saying, well, right, if you sue them, they will say, but you agreed. So they need to be clear. And employment contract. Avoid legal loopholes. Number three, very, very important. Very, very important. And thank you, my brother Samuel, for constantly posting that thing so that it's not lost. That's actually problem solving. All right, so it's not lost in all this. Yes, no. Just keep people posting it. And I know nobody, if anybody comes to us and say, oh, I did not. That one, village people know. So number three, you must train, and there must be training for HR teams. That is the core of what I do. You must educate on compliance risk. That's the L&D, learning and development. I do a lot of that because prevention is better, than cure. Then what about the blowout protection policy? When a lot of things go bad, the child will not know. They will say, if I go talk, what people do is that you can talk to me, you can trust me. All right? Because the HR is like a monitoring and evaluation. You can trust me and make sure you keep to your word. If people feel protected, they can tell you the anomalies that is happening in the place of work. Because people today, they are afraid of salary. Oh, I don't want to lose my job. In America, you can get another job. Okay, but here, people who need job for 30 years, 40 years, they are in one job. So you need to have a whistleblower protection policy that is encourage ethical reporting, not just ethical reporting, ethical reporting. Let's study. Let's see if you have a wrongful termination. Termination here is when somebody is fired or dismissed, and the cost of non-compliance. Now, for example, in Nigerian company, it can be any company, dismisses an employee without due process. Do you know the process? Somebody got fired. That person gets warning. Was that a query? Was there a reply to that query? Is it because we are not very law inclined? It's like the policeman stop stopping you and ask you a question. By the time you ask myself, my job. And the policeman stopped me all the time and asked me for my papers. And I gave my papers and he looked at it. In my papers there, I had a comprehensive insurance policy for my car. I also have a third party. Now I did the third party first because my comprehensive will take a few months. So I don't be driving my car without insurance. You know the policeman said, don't you know it's against the law for you to have two insurance policies? This is dumb, this is crazy. And I said, oh, you are telling me I can't have two locks on my door. When people know the law, they will not harass you. So you need to know the Nigerian company and law. What do they say? So when this person is dismissed without due process, that person can sue you. Number two. Now the case now goes to the National Industrial Court. Now the company now pays due compensation for unfair dismissal. It is a country where things work. There's an employee protection. Now, the lesson you can learn there is that HR must always document employee performance and disciplinary action. You can go ahead and screenshot that one. You can't say, but we are warning him now. Where is the warning? Let's only show me the evidence of the video. That's what speaks. If you warning him, where is the paper? So make sure you document this thing. You're just afraid of writing things down. You want to go and write it down. It's also for my protection. Okay. Let me see my time. All right. I have just less than 30 minutes to finish the rest of the class. So let's talk about building high performance culture. Now, if you remember anything I've said, please remember what I'm about to say right now. The most effective leaders are people who lead by influence. Now, I'm going to show you a chart, and I want you to look at this chart. A lot of you have heard about the 5-level leadership. Look about level 5. If you can only stop at level 4, you are good. Now, when you become HR, you have the right to be a leader. So everything I'm going to do, we either go with a P or with an R. So PR, all right, or RP. So when you are a leader, this is very good for you to understand what leadership is all about. Leadership is not about manipulation. Leadership is not about authority. So when you are a leader, like I am a leader, then automatically you have a position. I've worked as directors of several, multinational. I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to be in India in the next few 2 months, thereabout. So I'm going to talk to a lot of people. So I have a position. And because I have a position, that gives me a right. So I have the right to be called sir. I have the right to attend directors' meeting. I have the right to whatever then. So people will follow you because they have to. Now that they have to. People will follow because they need to. But I want you to note, there's always a card. I want you to note that your influence in the organization will never exceed beyond this line of your job description. Will never. And the longer you stay on the right here, the higher the turnover and the lower the morale is going to be. When you are telling people that you're going there, you've lost it. So what do you do from the first position or the first hour that is right? An HR professional must learn how to move to the next level, which is her mission or relationship. Get to know your staff. People are not statistics. People are not Excel sheets. People are not just some alphabets or number code. Get to know them. Okay? Here, it's called relationship. People will follow you because they want to. They have to. In the first instance, when you say move, they say we should move or let's move. But this one, the next one will say, Oga, should we move? So, because people will follow you beyond your stated authority here. This is where you will not allow them, you allow work to become fun, but there's a caution here. Many people just say, become friend. I'm not going to be your friend. I'm also your boss. I can't be your friend. And first and foremost, I'm your boss. But however, if you stay here for too long, caution, staying too long on this level without raising your bar will cause highly motivated people like me, to become very, very restless. In other words, this will say, listen, I'm not here to just buy amala. When you have a mechanical shop and the boy you are sent to go, go and buy amala today and buy one for yourself. Go and buy one for yourself. Go and buy. I like this Oga. Somebody who doesn't have ambition will like that Oga. But somebody who tells himself in the next 4 years, I need to open my own mechanical shop, will say, Oga, and I've done that to one of my line managers many years ago. I went to him and said, listen, if you are going to mentor me, can you please help me in my job? You guys just want to hang out with me. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just hang out or whatever. I said, listen, if you don't mentor me, then I'm not going to. That thing now filtered. Oh, this was years ago. And the board director now said, Emmanuel, you are going to work under me from now on. And that's why he said, that guy cannot help you. I can see the way you are growing. You have outgrown him. Right? You have outgrown him. I think for you to get to your level, I have to be the one. Whatever. And guess what? Still, I took off. I literally took off. I was one of the first guys that began doing points. Whatever. Like over 20 something years ago. And you know what that told me? That whatever. It's something what I do. They show television because he still used to feed charts. The muscle points. I was doing PowerPoints now. Because he have not added value. So people want to follow people who have value. So from relationship, you must go to production. You want to see what are you doing. Results. We have to be buying umbrella for you. How many cars can we fix? How come we have so many broken down? Can you imagine you go to what they call a radionic shop and you have like 1,000 broken down, whatever. I will take my radio to that kind of person. Because the more things you're not fixing. When you go to the penny shop, there's 100 broken down vehicles. But people think that is how to advertise. You must go to results. People will follow you because of what you have done for the organization. Okay, that is production. They see you grow results. Now, note, this is where success is sensed by most. People will say, man, this guy is successful. And I've been in that place many times. I've been there often, where my team always becomes the best. My team I'm leading in Nigeria last year became the best in all of the world, in about 24 countries. And they came people from 24 countries into understanding what we are doing here. So people will like you, they will like what you're doing. Problems are fixed very easily. Because my job is not for you to be coming to me. My job is to reproduce. You need to go to people reproduction. Don't be an insecure leader. I tell my people when I get into a job or a department, my job is to raise up the next guy that will take my job. How many of you have thought about that? My job is to raise up the next guy. I am a producer of people. So I'm not insecure. Guess what? So when I raise up, guess what? Whatever there, I go to God. I don't have people that I'm living, a group that I'm living. When I'm climbing up, I'm sharing every single thing. When you get to level 4, I beg you, stay at level 4. All right. Now, however, there's this final level called the pinnacle or respect. That is not your goal. People will put you there by themselves. People will follow you because of who you are and what you are. You become iconic. Let's remember South Africa. Let me just do this as a poll. When South Africa went to go and pitch to host the World Cup, who they put to lead the delegation? Anybody, let me see the first person to answer that question. When South Africa was going to go and pitch to host the World Cup, who did they look at their chairman to lead them? Anybody know? Just type in there if you know who led them. Nobody knows. Somebody must know. Who do you think led that delegation of South African Sports Commission? No. Let's see. Oh, the system is not allowing you to. Oh, why? Why did that happen? All right. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Can you please allow them chats? At least they can do that. They won't cause trouble, I promise. No, please allow them. I can't. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you who led that delegation. Madiba, Nelson Mandela. Who in his right mind will see Madiba and say no? That guy has become icon. In India, there's only one face on their currency, Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi, no matter whatever one face, he has become iconic. So people will place you there. That is not your goal to go and do there. And you become very iconic. So the first law of leadership is to start by leading yourself. Let me share some leadership strategies with you. But before I do that, if you really enjoyed this last slide, just say yes. Let me see how many of you enjoyed it, so that we know. Maybe I'll give you some slides like this. If you enjoyed that last slide, let me hear you type in a yes. If you can, I know many of you have been disabled. Or show me an icon, encourage me. Let me see. What if you didn't enjoy it? Just saying, oh, I didn't enjoy it. All right. That will be something. Thank you, Aisha Bakari. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. So I can now, there's an avalanche of yeses. Thank you. So let's look at leadership strategies. Keep it coming. For employee engagement productivity. Here are strategies. See, leadership plays a vital role in building performance-driven workplace. I have experienced it for decades. And that's why effective HR leadership ensures that employees are NEA. Now, let me hear you type NEA. Yeah. You must remember these things. Let me see the first one to type NEA. NEA. Yes. No, not NAA. See, you guys are already making a mistake. Don't worry. Technical 15Q. You might have to type it again. It's not MAA. Okay. You see how communications can just be already doing. Okay. NEA. Remember this. Please, I beg you, remember this. This is what you need to do. One, your job, you must motivate. People must be motivated. In other words, you must recognize and reward people for their efforts. It's called intrinsic. There's extrinsic, there's not intrinsic. Motivated and empowered. Give training opportunities for growth. Always train them. Like we say in HR, if you don't train them, don't blame them. Can somebody please write that one down? I didn't put this there. If you don't train them, don't blame them. All right? You must train them. Some of the companies have held staff longer. And those companies that staff, people on staff feel the company's adding value. People think, well, if I train them, then you will give me away. You are being stingy. All right? But you want a trained lawyer staff or a trained staff, or you have an untrained staff that is loyal to you. If you don't train them, then don't blame them. So people must feel empowered. Then make sure as they're working, make sure they don't walk away from the goal. Make sure they are aligned, working towards shared company goals. Okay, make sure what they are doing. If somebody comes and says, okay, well, this company is an IT, company, and it's coming to you to come and approve to go and do a course, which course on biblical education. You are like, what is biblical education? So you must make sure that person is not interested. All right. So watch out for the leadership style. Very, very important. Watch out for leadership style. You must have leadership style that drives engagement. Number one, it will be transformational. Transformational means in your style, this particular style, inspires employees through vision and innovation. See, sight is what my eyes can do. Vision is what the eyes of my mind can see. So a visionary leader is the one who sees people not the way they are, but the way they could be. People love to follow people who are visionary. So as a leader, you must be visionary. You must be innovative. Then number two, is servant leadership. In servant leadership style, you prioritize employees' well-being and development. Listen, it doesn't cost money. I'll tell you one of the things that that I do. It doesn't cost me anything to just make a mental note of the bad dates of my staff. I do that. Then let me tell you what I do. I'll go on I just have an app on my phone. I forgot what they call it, that can give you BS, whatever there. I sent it to one of the staff that are trained under me. This guy is currently working in London right now. A young guy. And I just said, happy birthday, whatever. You know what he said to me? He says, sir, that's the most encouraging message I've ever gotten. Like me, a whole masquerade like me, big masquerade. It's remembering a small, ordinary quote, ordinary, whatever. But it only took me like less than 20 seconds of recording myself. Happy birthday. I wish you a very happy birthday. May God bless you. I celebrate. And just click send. That can turn somebody's life around possibly. So, number 3 is this one is situational. All right. Situational leadership is where you just adopt. You don't prepare anything based on what you see. Just adopt your leadership style based on your employees' needs. All right. Based on your employees' needs. This is where I would have loved to break us up in those Zoom rooms, but I'm not going to do that. We don't have time. This is what I want us to if you will, the activity. I want us to think and identify leadership gaps in your organization. It might be a one-man business, like a leadership gap, believe you me, because there's your internal customer, your external customer. Okay, it could be a small business, it could be a multinational like mine, it could be whatever. I want you to look at so all the professionals here should list the biggest leadership challenge in their workplace. Okay, and if you may, we don't have time to do that. I will have loved where the group discuss solution. Okay, so maybe you can do if you don't mention your company's name. Don't come and rant, don't come and whatever. So you can say, oh, this company, you can just do what I do. I share about my experience without pointing somebody's name out. You can do it in your cohort, that would be great. But if you don't want to do it, it's fine. All right. Now let's talk about performance management and continuous improvement. Now, I'm so happy I heard this being said. So when it was said, that is exactly what I wrote down. Okay. Traditional performance management, what is called the APA form, annual performance evaluation form, is outdated, is obsolete. Okay, right now we have modern HR practices. They focus on one, continuous feedback loops. That's what I do now. Number 2, employee development plan. You see, I used to feel apart from there's like 20 pages long, like 20 years ago. You keep feeling. Guess what? How many HR person has time to go through all those things? You can do it electronically. You can do that to like 3 pages and do it every quarter. So, an employee development plan that aligns growth opportunities with business needs. Okay, but that's how you can do continuous improvement. Number 3, data-driven decision making. That's what we do in Lean Six Sigma. Everything is data-driven. Use your HR analytics to track performance trend. And I believe that one of these days we're going to teach you how to do some of those analytics. There are so many of them. There are some free software. There's some. Just get to know them. Very, easy to learn. Now, this is a mind discussion that we're going to have. Let me just look at my time. Oops, we are out of time, really. The discussion is the question now: what barriers exist to effective performance management? Think about it. Now, this is where culture dictates how employees behave and interact. They say culture eats strategy for breakfast. No matter what you draw on your PowerPoint is the culture. That's why they say, you don't go for Nigeria, you don't go work. But you don't go work because we have a culture. It's like you fly around the whole world, you just cannot obedience. Now, if this happened to you before, just say yes or no. You just obedient, you obey all the laws. But like guys, there is sort of. When we enter Nigerian airspace, you say, what did they know? You just say, please remain seated. Please make sure whatever they until they, as they are talking, Nigerians, you see how we read. They don't stand up. I'm like, I know, observing, just put in the yes. And I was like, one day I was not from Egypt. The literally have to say, Nigerians sit down. Oh man, I was like, oh, these guys are embarrassing us. And you will not stand up. Look at you. They've not even opened the door. The fear was even there. That is culture. So we need, in the 70s, they are what they call ethical revolution. Ethical revolution. See, culture. You know, so our culture dictates how employees behave. So make sure you are building positive culture. You know, culture, people drink pure water and throw it on the floor. You know, that's what why do you do that? Or you say, person will call Cihrm now. Do you know what I said? I remember where I was when I said that. I just saw a guy, just where they go Cihrm now. You know what I said? I said the sweeper is somebody's sister, somebody's auntie, somebody's sister, somebody's wife. That sweeps those things. You know what the guy did? The guy bent down and picked it up. Culture. You know, so what HR does, HR can reinforce a strong culture through this way. Number one, clear core values, regular communication. We must communicate. You know, they taught us those things in school. 8 o'clock is that time for school. Never late in the morning. You need to put it in our mind. That's how you create culture. By repetition. Number two, recognition of the world. When you do things right, recognize them. Because if you feel that no matter what you do, they won't recognize you with nothing. People will think that doing good does not pay. And number three, listen, hiring for cultural fits. You know, right now, beyond the aptitude test, whatever I don't even bother myself about those things. I go and do personality tests. How to know if your personality matches this. Very, very important. EQ is more important to me right now. Emotional intelligence that you have. So ensure new diaries align with company value. There's a case study I have here. In Nigerian bank that transforms its workforce. But I'm going to quickly jump that one to change management. Change management and HR leadership. These are strategies for managing operational transformation. If you want organization to change, 3 things that you must do. You must communicate clearly, training and support, then getting employee buy-in. Not by force. Buy-in is where the decision is now their decision. You must address concerns openly. If people feel they can trust HR, the company will do well. And I've seen it happen in my life many times where my team constantly exceeds performance every year. It's very, very important. Now, I want somebody to type in ADKAR, Alpha, Delta, Kano, A and R. Please don't type it like that other person. You know, when I get to the airports, maybe I'm in a foreign country and they say, what's your name? I don't tell them my name anymore. They can't spell it. When I say M, they can't spell it. I just say Echo Moscow Echo Hotel. EMEH, Echo Moscow Echo Hotel. Don't let that guy that pick up his phone and say, now I'm calling you. Where are you? I'm in Lagos. I think you're right. Lagos now. Which Lagos? Let me spell it. G for Jesus. O for hospital. S for express. That is not it. This one is ADKAR. If you remember this what I call it, this acronym, then it can help you. A is awareness. Why changes is needed. People must know. Number two is desire, employees' willingness to support the change. A is knowledge. Provide them training and resources. The other A is ability. Ensure employees can implement the change. Then number 5 is reinforcement. Sustaining change through policy. You can screenshot it. This is how change management. There are so many models that use, but this is a strategic one. Awareness. You know, I went to a bank. I don't want to mention their name. Once upon a time, we are doing this. Come and do MoneyGram, and you win a car. And I've been doing MoneyGram there for a while. Then the following year, they now said, come and do Western Union. I said, wait a minute. I said, it's the same picture. I said, the same picture that I saw like last year. I didn't bother. And now I said, if you do 4 transactions, then you win the gift. I said, but I've been coming here for 1 year. I've done multiple transactions. You guys have not given me anything. And the guy said, doesn't even know. You see, people make laws at the head office. They bring, in fact, some of the employees get to hear what has been decided on the radio, jingles, but they are not even trained. There's no awareness. Guess what I did as a company manager? I said, call me. I know I write, call me the manager. And he got to call the manager. And when I finished with him, the guy was like, oh, I'm sorry. They just keep bringing this into us, whatever. He said, there's no awareness, so there can't be desire, there's no knowledge, there's no ability, then you cannot enforce anything. But your job as HR is to do that. So the HR's role is to drive sustaining change. Sustaining change. I'm not going to talk about this case study because we don't have time to look at that case study. But let's talk about overcoming resistance. What about people that will say, this thing could share, it will work. What about how do you overcome resistance and you ensure leadership alignment? Simple. Well, not that simple, but it's simpler if you are already a person of integrity. So what about where employees resist change? Why? You must know why. In Six Sigma, we must ask why. 5 whys. Fear of job loss. That's number 1. If you ask them, they'll tell you. They're like, you know when Adams Oshomole, when he was governor of Edo State, when he came and said there needs to be like a refresher course for the teachers. Simple. If they're teaching from my 3, we'll take you 2.3. Guess what? They came after him. Never know. He wants to start people, whatever. People are afraid. That's what I'm afraid president about. Starting their job. So fear of job loss. Number 2 is unclear benefits. You must communicate what is in it for them. And number 3, lack of leadership support. HR must get leaders on board. We must explain this is to make it. If I will give you certificates, if I will make you better. But you always see evaluation as a need to cut staff. Now, here are the practical framework that you need to remember. For stakeholders to engage in this strategy. Number 1, eager, early, and often. Engage early and often. Keep employees informed. Don't wait until the last minute. That's why you don't do annual performance. Then after that, you don't do well from January. Start telling them in February. What I want to let them know. So engage early and often. Number 2, listen to concern. And that's why I feel that every HR person must go through coaching. You must learn how to be a coach. Right? You must learn the rudiment of coaching, very important. You must listen to their concern. Then you must celebrate quick wins. So, as we try to land at this time, I can tell you that the real power of HR is the power to drive business success through people. That is our thing. So, keep out what I've said in the past hour or so. One of the things that you will notice that we have learned, one, HR is no longer just about policies. It's about leadership. I want to see more HR people becoming CEOs and MDs. That is because you are the one that have known how to lead people. You know policy. You should be the one to drive the company. So if you don't claim a seat at the executive table, somebody else will. One expert trade that doesn't know anything will come and claim. Number 2, compliance is not a choice. This is not whether you like it or not. You must like it. Okay, it is the business imperative. The cost of non-compliance is far greater. Like you say, if you think it's expensive, try foolishness. Then, of course, change is inevitable. So how you manage it defines our success. And of course, the best HR leader don't just react to change. You must drive it. You respond to change. Here are my call to action for all of us. So what will you do differently starting tomorrow? Like it's already night, right? Starting tomorrow, what will you do? Number 2, position yourself as remember, strategic HR leader, not just an administrator. All right. Number 3, will you take compliance seriously and become the ethical backbone of your organization? Number 4, will you lead? You can screenshot all this stuff. Will you lead change instead of resisting it? You see, somebody once said that HR is no longer a support function. It's not an appendix. HR is the business driver. And you, my dear friends, my dear professional, you are that driver. And I want you to type in there, I am the driver. I want you to type in there if you can. Because the future of HR in Nigeria and the future of HR beyond, it depends on professionals like you and I who will step up to make a great impact. Simon Sinek once said, leadership is not about being in charge. It's about taking care of those in your charge. So great HR leaders is all about 1, empowering people. Number 2, ensuring fairness. And number 3, creating workplace, a kind of workplace where businesses and employees will thrive together. And on that note, I want to say a very big thank you for listening to me. I really, really had fun talking to you about leadership, compliance, and change management. And this is where I draw the curtain. I'm going to be handing over to the wonderful Mr. Gideon, who knows how to do his job the way he should do it. Thank you so much for giving me such an incredible opportunity. God bless you all. Mr. Gideon, I hand over the mic to you at this time.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Dr. Emmanuel. Thank you very much. Thank you. I sincerely want to appreciate your perspective to this awesome topic. You know, when we say strategic, you are actually very strategic, and you delivered aptly. Applause for you. Applause for you for that. Applause for you. And on this note, can I please ask that all of you on this call, please help me type in applause. Just put applause. APPLAUSE. Thank you. I can see those love emojis. Thank you. All right. Why am I saying this is that if you watch the topic, we are being emphatic about being strategic. And the approach you came with was wider from the beginning, and we are narrowing it down to being strategic. And to hit the nail at the head was when you also mentioned this issue of this HR person being a leader, not an instrument in the hands of the management, which has been the case in the old times where personnel persons are working for the management, where, like I said yesterday, hire, fire, punish, write memos, and all that. You know, but now we have come, like you also mentioned, we have come to the era where HR now focus on developmental stages for the employee, because the more you develop them, the more they become relevant to your plan for the growth of the organization where you work, and also they add value to both themselves and the organization. You see, that is why it is open to people to see where to add value to themselves. When they see where there's no room in the inn, when they see where the top is blocked, they want to jackpot, like Madame would say. They want to jackpot, they want to move out. Why? Because when you just look at it, I can't be hitting my head on the roof, so I rather pull out. But the way you also put it tonight, I just told us that it's important for every one of us as HR practitioners to see that we are meant to develop people. You are not working for your management, you are working for the company. If you see it from that perspective, the more of the growth of the organization becomes uppermost in your heart, and the best hand must be supported to do it. And that's where HR comes in. I want to thank you for that. And I'll throw in one or two things to the floor. So please listen. If you are talking about, I want the first finger first on this also. Let's see. All right. If you're talking about what Dr. Emmanuel said tonight, can I get a one-sentence summary One sentence summary. I'll check your questions, please. But let's do a one sentence summary. Who can do that? Let's see who did well in summary when we were in school. A one sentence summary. So Dr. Emmanuel will confirm the next 1 minute who did it best. All right. Dr. Kochi, I can see us. Yes, we are on. We are on. I've seen one. Yeah. Okay.
All right. You can unmute. Is Nkechi's hand up? That's Nkechi
Yes.
Juliet's. Somewhere. You can unmute right now before activating.
Nkechi Juliet, let's have you, please.
Oh,
I hope it's
okay,
on what we are talking about now.
Good evening, sir.
1 minute.
Good evening, sir.
All protocols out. Go ahead.
I didn't even know my hand was up, but one thing I got very clearly that I'm going home with is if you don't train them, don't blame them. Thank you.
All right.
Absolutely.
Marvin, good luck, Phil. Marvin, good luck.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. One of the things I learned and I'm taking away is that as a leader, I need to reproduce myself. That really got me thinking. I started doing something way back, and this just reinforces the fact that I don't have to be intimidated in my job. I just need to reproduce, who I am on the job. Thank you.
Because you're a professional, whatever happens, you can always reproduce again. Thank you. Justice Akosiri, please.
One thing I've learned from today's program is that while not taking my eyes off regulations and policies concerning employees, I should ensure that employees are motivated, they are empowered, and they are aligned with the overall goals and objectives of the organization.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm okay. But let me just add something that I didn't get to hear from all those. So you spoke well. Your contribution was good. But you didn't mention that you update yourself regularly. You didn't say you must update yourself. Dalu, please hold on.
What
you
is
didn't
it?
say that. And please, and you need to know. Hello, please mute yourself, please.
Them. Yes.
I'm the one talking now, please. You've got to understand that it's what you cannot give what you don't have. You cannot give what you don't have. That was why I mentioned that leaders are readers. If you remember, I mentioned readers are leaders. You must equip yourself, encourage yourself, get better, add value, be more informed, so that when there will be misinterpretation of some laws, labor laws, you'll be able to interpret it rightly and apply it rightly. I'm sure we'll get that. And let me just add also on this note, Dr. Emmanuel, can you throw one? I want to give you an opportunity to throw one question before I take the question on the call. One question from you directly. 1 minute, sir.
One question.
Yes.
The only question is, tell me one thing you would do differently. One thing you would do differently.
I love to.
Yeah.
You just took that from me. You took that from me. I wanted to I said, let me just take from you. What will you do differently? The first three fingers, quickly. The first three fingers, can I say anything now? What will you do differently after tonight, after these 2 days? What will you do differently on your call? What will you do differently? Maybe you have your way of doing it. Can I say that's who is that?
Justice.
Pretty iPhone pretty. That's what I'm saying here. Can I have you?
Elizabeth. Galaxy A10s. Justice.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, Elizabeth.
Much amazing presentation. I learned a lot. For me, what I would do differently is to instill good culture, morals, and then ensure that employees are regularly trained. And before I train them, I also have to train myself to be better so that whatever training I put back to them, I am giving them the best to drive growth and productivity. Thank you so much. It's really amazing.
That's why you are here. That's good. Oladoyin Kukoyi, please. Oladoyin Kukoyi.
Thank you so much, sir. It's been very impactful. Thank you, Dr. Emma. The lady who just spoke, it's like she read my mind. Since we discovered that culture, its strategies, it's very important that we inculcate continuous training, appraisal every now and then among the employees and among the top management to make sure that the impact of HR and leadership become meaningful towards productivity and the quality service. Thank
Excellent.
you.
Thank
you. Can I have Suzanne?
Hello, good evening, sir. Hello, good evening, sir. I thank you so much for this wonderful training. Sincerely, I enjoyed myself and I learned a lot. What I will do differently is taking compliance very seriously and be the lead to change the organization and be the driver of the organization also.
All right. I take one more. I will close I'll take the general question now. Marvin, good luck, Phil. Marvin, good luck. Your hand is up.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I like to say that one of the things that I feel I'll start doing is the MEA, the motivated, empowered, and ensuring that people align with the set goals. Thank you, sir.
Why did you mention that thing? I went to ask last week what is
MEA. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Because I noticed some people ask that they wrote the motivation, but they didn't write the E and A. I said, okay, I'll throw it open. All right, please repeat it to them so everybody can hear you.
MEA says motivated, empowered, aligned.
Because if you are motivated, that means you have been empowered, and that means you are aligned to do the job and do it well. Thank you very much. All right, quickly. One thing I want to take from a question came in that the decision of implementing some kind of decisions and organizations, especially that are beneficial to motivate staffs. How do you take decisions on things that will motivate staffs? How do you take decisions? Can I just hear somebody that can help us? Okay, let me ask Doctor directly. Dr. Emmanuel, please. How do you
I was thinking somebody can actually do that. How do you motivate staff? Yes, can somebody tell me how will you do that to your company? Let me see. Justice hands have been off for a while. Justice, you want to help us out?
Okay, one of the things I feel that will help motivate employees is getting their buy-in, involving them to the extent possible in decision making, especially when it comes to decision that gears the organization towards change. Getting their buy-in, it makes them intrinsically motivated. Okay, this is our decision. So since it's our decision, let's get it done together. And then leadership style of saying, let's do this instead of you do that. Then training, continuous training and improvement, and then looking after the welfare of staff members. That goes along. Like you mentioned, remembering their anniversary, maybe wedding anniversary, or maybe their birthdays. These are ways of getting employees motivated.
Yeah, thank you so much. You know what I want to say? I want to ask this question to anyone. Let me ask you a simple question. Do you think this class was very interactive? Anybody can answer? Was this class, I thought, was it interactive?
Yes, please. Yes, sir.
Yes, to make it interactive.
We have a sense of being part of what you're sharing. It's like, you create a sense of ownership in the training. So that makes
Yes,
also
it
like,
was.
get along with what you're sharing.
That's how did I achieve that?
We were engaged throughout with questions.
Yes. Questions. Since I did, these are things we study in NLP, neuro linguistic programming. All those things about typing this, typing that. You see, I was getting you engaged. Okay, that even when what I'm saying is on the screen, I'll ask you to type it out also. So you must learn to speak the language of your people. You must learn to calm down. You must learn to make them feel they are part of it. If in some parts you even think that what I'm saying is your idea, I'm just the one taking it from you and saying. So you must learn to always engage, even in a space where I'm not seeing anybody's face, only myself I'm seeing. You can also engage, even if your staff is only on phone. If it's a phone call, make sure they will leave you and say, "Man, this is the best phone call in the world." If it's a virtual meeting, they will say, "Man, this is the best virtual meeting in the world," because you are giving it your all. I just want to add that one. And thank you, Mr. Gideon, for bringing that up.
Thank you very much. Okay, before we go, I want to say that please, the message on the screen that says on the chat box that says to fill the workshop attendant, please, you are not meant to just write your thing on the chat, your name on the chat. No, click on that link and fill it. Click on the link and fill it. It's automated, so just fill it. It will open up the next stage, then you fill it up. Please, it's vitally important that you do that. Then, lastly, Dr. Emmanuel, what is your view on 360 performance evaluation system introduced by the Office of the Head of Service, Head of Civil Service of the Federation? What is your view on this? The question by one of your participants here.
Yes, I think I saw it also. So when you talk about 360, there's 360 leadership, there's 360 performance, where people are, let me give you an example. What's the point of evaluating me for something you cannot watch? Most evaluations are very subjective. All right. So this is the best performance. What if I'm evaluated not by my boss, who hardly sees me? What if I'm evaluated by the staff? What if, and I've done that many years, where I, as the top, one of the top guys, I give my evaluation form to the guys I need to evaluate me. I give the evaluation form to the guy who needs me to evaluate me. Then I also evaluate me. In other words, you need to look at the objectivity, not subjectivity. And every time that is done, you see that the scoring is more objective. So in other words, it goes round, is fairer, but the only thing I want to say is that people need to be trained. Okay, just like what we are doing now, we posted a link, but we need to constantly remind you that link is not for you to put your name on the chat box, but for you to click, then it will take you to another window, then you start filling up and every single thing. So I think it is a move in a good direction. Now, but what we should have done or we need to do, you need to have a control experiment. You do it in a small space, that's what we do. Then you record the report you are getting. You now use that report to say, based on the control experiment, based on the little sample we've done, this is what has come. Not just saying, guys, this is what we're going to do now. So, but that's where the buy-in that this thing really works. So I think if the culture of the organization is of trust, of whatever, I think it will work. Of course, if you give it to a staff who has bad attitude, that is where people are going to be destroyed the more. So first of all, you do training. You'll be able to solve or maybe to quench any fire that is there. They cannot go and do 360 evaluation. Then people will now come with their whole. It's like asking you to fill a marriage form when you just had a fight with your wife. You're going to say everything is bad. I don't know how to cook. She's there. She's there. No, you don't do that. You fill the form when you are at rest, at peace. That's just what I want to add. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. In addition to what you just shared, I would like to let us know that what we are aiming at is to get it's like you said, it's not appraisal is not punitive in nature. So to be an expository thing to expose you to areas where you have done well and areas where there is need for improvement. And that means that it's something that when it happens, you should do it politically so that you not bring in politics, you not bring sentiments, you just do it so that the right person can be placed in the right place. Exactly, that's what this means. Then also, it helps to prepare people in advance for opportunities that is to come because they know their weaknesses that they can work on, they know things they need to do. All right, that leads me to the last question for tonight. That in a context where the management thinks they are the employers and you have to follow their policy as an employee, what do you do as HR in a situation in a country like this where to get jobs is really difficult? Where management just want to follow all instructions. That means, you know what they say in the banks, don't think for them. Follow the template in the system, just input and all that. So they're saying that, see, this person is asking that, yeah, your Linus Tonga said, what do you now do? Can I have somebody, please? Okay, Dr. Emmanuel, let's wrap it up with you. Let's wrap it up with you, sir. Dr. Emmanuel? Are you still there, sir? Okay, can I have, okay, who is, Ofurum Christian, your hand is up. Can you take care of that? Ofurum Christian, please. Ofurum Christian, if you are not there, Marvin Goodluck. I can see Marvin Goodluck's hand. Unmute yourself, please.
Sorry, my hands was mistakenly up. Put it down.
Oh, okay. Justice Akwesiri, your hand just came up.
Yeah.
You want to attend
in such a setting where you as the HRO, you cannot go beyond the wish of the top management. But if there are provisions for suggestion boxes, you can use that to make your submission on your differing view, professional view, as it relates to what you want you to do, but which you differ in. If there are suggestion boxes, you can use that. Then, whenever meetings are called, you can also air your view while complying with man.
All right. Hello.
Yeah, I'm back, but I can't turn on my video. Sorry, I got logged out. I had to switch from my Wi-Fi to another.
Okay. Now, let me just say this because I thought to close by 10:30, but we are far. Let me just say this. Now, what I think we should just add to what you guys have said is to just know that you have to have a good relationship with your boss so that you not be working against yourself. HR, you're not supposed to be on anybody's side. You're meant to be professional. So, but when you have a soft landing with your boss, you don't need to be writing and be hiding. You seek for audience, you discuss policy, you discuss policies. But then the person will have discovered that no, you're a right-thinking person, you behave professionally, you act professionally. So the person will have a buy into your idea. But when you want to prove that I'm the professional in HR, you don't do anything, you're just money minstrel, you just have money to run business. The person will, no matter what you do, will not appreciate you. So if you do that, if you have that, and you have that relationship with him or her, or with them as a management, you discover that you are paving way for when ideas come from you to embrace it become easier for them. They know that you're not a pompous person, you're a humble and very professional person, and relate well with both management and staff. You don't seem to try to prove that you want to help a staff. It's not about helping, yeah. If you want to help, go and open NGO. Is when you come there because the company is meant for profitability. You have to make sure that everybody is doing their job, and where there is need for intervention, you intervene professionally and under the purview of the law, so that they will know that yes, they are not trying to prove that I can talk to management, or maybe I can just fight for somebody. Why would they just know? see, what we are saying here is that in this seminar and this workshop, we're saying we are professionals. We should be seen as one in all that we do. Permits me, it's past 10, that is to 11. On this note, I want to say thank you very much for everybody. Sorry, I may not be able to take any hand again. Oforum Christian, again, I can see you. Because some are already going to bed. Tomorrow is Sunday. Some people here are pastors. They will want to go and prepare for Sunday service. All right.
You can talk now.
Dr. Emmanuel, I can thank you once again. I want to thank you once again.
Your microphone is
Sunday in
unmuted
Kano,
and you can talk.
Aziz Adamu, Adedotun Aremu, Adedoyin Segun Samson, Adefela Davis, Adekola, Adeshino, Ademeno, Adeola, Afosin. Like you asked earlier, Dr. Emmanuel, we are about, people are from this here, on this call, there were about 14, 15 states, and one or two from the UK. 15 states that participated in this, and about one or two from the UK. I want to say thank you once, thank you twice.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for being a part of this wonderful evening. Once again, I am yours. Gideon Olubule is my name. Have a wonderful evening and a wonderful holiday.
Thank you.
Holiday
Same to you, sir.
Same to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, sir. So enjoy your night.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Enjoy
you,
the rest of
sir.
your
We
weekend.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you,
Very
sir.
interesting. That's nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
We are very happy to have you in our midst, sir. Thank you
Very
very much.
Thank you. Good night and happy holiday.
Good night.
We are very happy.